it became really clear that anybody could masquerade as anybody else on the internet and commit fraud and steal things from merchants. And myself and a gentleman named John Pettit developed a total of 16 patents on the subject of internet identities and identity fraud and fraud detection itself, specifically, which were held by the company. That's how my career moved. And then leading into establishment of a company that specifically worked on the subject of cybercrime itself and digital forensics, which was after the detection of a criminal act, how do I investigate it? You have children's video games like Roblox, and you have the ability to use robots as duplicate accounts to try to generate more Robux. And that's 60 robots working for you, or whatever, however many you decide to field. The tagline of the cartoon, it was a dog sitting at a computer screen. And the tagline was that on the internet, nobody knows you're a dog. So one has to realize that Peter Steiner, with a great amount of foresight, saw that on the internet, nobody knows you're a dog. It works both ways. If you create a Roblox account, all you need is a username and to tell them your age. There's no verification. There's basically 5 disciplines inside cybersecurity itself, and begin to align myself. Now, complicating this even more currently, which is what I tell students, is basically the typologies of cybercrime itself have evolved dramatically. Policy management could be the development and drafting of the policies within a company and making certain they're effective and constantly updating them based on changes. That's because, frankly, most universities, mine included, they do teach some elements of secure coding, but they really don't heavily focus on it. In one case I had, the company lost one of its designs for a medical device that had been approved and used for years, sold for years. They ended life the product, they chopped it off. The bad guys came in, and what they stole was all the old stuff, including all the certifications, everything else, and then they went to sell it. Now we're getting into deep fakes. Okay, you're getting into AI generated images. How do you detect an AI generated image? And even from a forensic standpoint, there's still papers being written on how we in forensics actually will go through and analyze these images to definitively say this was art AI generated or this is real. Cyberbullying is a problem inside a corporation. Cyberbullying is a problem inside of a high school. Okay, harassment and cyberstalking are absolutely real. Extremism and cyber terror are absolutely real. So you can have very sophisticated attack vectors and coming into those sorts of operations. Warfare and intelligence operations try to be very secretive. They try to hide. It's not unheard of to find multiple units inside of a victim company or machine because they tend to hide a lot. So I try to educate students right now to the fact that if you're going to go into one of these fields and you really want to go into one of the 5 disciplines, that you take a look at the subject of cybercrime and how the typologies work and how they impact the area that you're interested in getting into, if you would. I have voiced a great deal of frustration at a lot of the job postings that I see that say entry level, 5 years experience type of thing. And it really tells me something about the company that's actually doing the recruitment and that they may not themselves fully understand what it is they need and why. 20% of our workforce has got to be new blood coming in. Okay. Now, the new blood brings 2 things with it, is what I would tell companies. I get very terrified when I hear security operations areas going, oh, we can use AI for this. We're going to cut the workforce by 20% or even 30%. And we're going to put AI guys into this. There's an academic paper that was actually from a test last year that was phenomenal, where the agent or the AI agent, let me use that term, determined that, oh my God, there's internal extortion and fraud taking place inside the company. And it actually, on its own, reported it to the FBI.
So, from a strategic perspective, I would surmise that using AI is a risk.
Yep.
It has a positive effect and a negative effect. And we just have to get better in communicating both the positive and negative effects to the organization.
A parental environment which says having a discussion on cyber security and cyber safety and cyber hygiene is a safe harbor.